You know, I'm not usually a fan of region locking, but when it comes to this game, it should definitely stay in Japan. This is Cho Aniki, a game a long time ago I said I wouldn't play, but I've seen a couple reviews on it, and apparently it's not that bad of a game. The first thing that gets me when I see this game is the title screen. Boy, they really went out of their way to show you what this game is about, didn't they? All in all, I'm not a huge fan of the title screen. If this game is anything like this title screen, I'm going to be disappointed. Also, this title screen comes with a video. This tells me that this game was likely an arcade game because whenever you see the cabinet and no one's playing it, it usually runs some form of full motion video to draw you into the game. Now, if I saw this in an arcade, I would have ran for the hills, because this just doesn't seem like the kind of game I would play. Well, let's watch this full sequence and see what's up. Okay, we've got some one-handed push-ups there, bunch of corny effects, some English words, some Japanese subtitles, just muscles everywhere. And yeah, this game is pretty gay on, the scale of gayness. More twisting effects, some wrestling moves, and a swastika. Interesting. This game is really, really strange. Really strange. But, there's more to a game than just the movies, there's the gameplay. And that's what we'll get to after this movie. And it's almost over. Then they shoot lasers out of their heads, and then some roses fall. Well, that has to take the cake for the strangest intro I've ever seen for a game. Okay, back to the game. It comes with 3 settings, easy, normal, and hard. I'm gonna pick easy because, well, that just seems like the most logical choice. And then you get to pick formations. I only know this because I played the game. I honestly had no idea what was going on at first. So these 2 guys, the 2 bodybuilders that surround your object, they're your guards. They protect you from enemy fire. And they are meant to go in certain positions, certain cycles, to make it more effective. Then you get the story, which I can't read, so, it's just there. It's kind of interesting. You get to see more artwork, which is really bizarre. And I bet this game probably has some kind of interesting story, but I'm too lazy to go on Wikipedia to look it up. So you get more and more text, and finally it takes you to the game. As you can see, this game is a 2D shooter. It's pretty simple in nature, and it's very similar to games like R-Type and... what's that other one? I'm trying to remember. It'll come to me. Anyways, so it's pretty basic. There's some 3D elements. But I have to say the graphics aren't that impressive. This could have been done on PlayStation 1. It didn't have to be on PS2. There's really nothing that special about it. Take a look at games like Shadow of the Colossus, or games like Tomb Raider, or God of War. Those really stretch the PS2, and they look good even to this day. But this game just looks kind of mediocre. But, graphics aren't everything. Gameplay is what matters most. And the gameplay's actually pretty good here. It's very typical. It doesn't try and redefine itself. And I have to say that, all in all, it's a very fun game. You don't have to constantly press the X button to shoot. You can just hold it down and it shoots very quickly. Tons of enemies to fire at, and you can collect protein to power up. So it's pretty standard gameplay. There are tons of these games available on iOS, so I really wouldn't think of a good reason to play one of these games on PS2, except for the novelty that it's such a strange game. Level design is pretty well varied. There are 4 basic levels. The one you saw before this was in the cave, and it's pretty standard. This level is the underwater level, which is also pretty standard. This level here is the forest, and you face typical forest enemies. It's pretty standard. But the most interesting level of all is the Inferno. It's just basically you in the underworld, and essentially you fight what you'd expect to fight in the underworld. Bunch of demons and stuff. This is my favorite level, and all in all, it's actually, I'd say, the most difficult. But it's still pretty enjoyable, even though I'm playing on the easy setting. So in the end, you might ask if I would recommend this game, and I would have to say, not really. The game is really strange and all, but it doesn't offer much in terms of gameplay over other side-scrolling shooters that you can find on Android, iOS, or even on the PlayStation 2. So what I really think about this game is just that it's a mediocre game that is only using its strangeness to appeal to people. If this game was in arcades, I'm pretty sure some people would be drawn to it because of its strangeness. Heck, I even love strange games. We Love Katamari and Mr. Mosquito are some of my favorite games on the PS2, and they're very bizarre. But this one just doesn't deliver in terms of gameplay like those other two do. This one just falls under too many shooting cliches, and it just isn't all there. And if you want to play this game, it's really inaccessible to most people because you have to have a soft-modded PS2, which I can do for most of you. I can just give you a soft-modded memory card. But if you want to find the game, you have to go to a ROM site, download it, burn it, patch it, etc. And it's a little bit of a hassle for some people. So, that's Cho Aniki, and I'll see you later.